Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Colleen. I am with Shine On Yoga. And today I have a really energetic practice for you that's going to be quick and easy. So if you don't have a lot of time, this practice will be great. If you need a little bit more energy and you're starting off a little sluggish, this will help to boost those energy levels up. You don't need any equipment, but if you'd like to use a few props, some that I recommend are blocks, bolsters, or blankets. So if you have any of those, you can grab them and just have them set up nearby so you can grab them if you need them. Otherwise, if you don't have any of those props, don't worry. I'll go through and give you some modifications as we go through the yoga flow. So for today, we're going to start out in a nice, comfortable seat. So if you have a mat, you can find it and just have a seat, whatever that looks like to you. If you want to sit up on a block or a blanket or anything like that, you can feel free to. Otherwise, we're just going to sit up nice and straight and tall. And before I have you close down the eyes, I have Fritz here, just coming to say hello. The at-home yoga practice involves animals. If you have kids, it might involve kids. So we just allow them to come into our space. So Fritz is here for now. He'll probably come in and out. You want to say hi? No, just to me. All right, so in your comfortable seat, you can just let your hands rest in your lap. Start to relax. If you have any tension in your forehead, just let that smooth out. Drop your shoulders down, let them be heavy. Unclench your jaw. If it feels safe in your body, you can close down the eyes. And we're going to take some nice deep inhales and exhales. If you'd like to set an intention for the yoga practice, you can. But if not, you don't have to. Let's take one more big inhale together. And then exhale, just sigh it out, let it go. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly start to blink them open. And as you do that, I'll introduce you to Sam if you have not met him before. He's over here. He's got a new little Lucky 7 toy that he's been carrying around. So he'll probably come in and out too, but we'll see. He's a little occupied with his toys today. No, here he is. You want to come and say hi too? Say hello. Yep. Okay. Hey, we're doing yoga, so you can either sit on your mat or you can leave and go play with Fritz. It's up to you. All right, let's keep it going. So we're going to go into a little twist. So let's take our left hand, we'll place it on our right knee. We'll take our right fingers and just swim them around behind. So on an inhale, sit up nice and straight and tall. Exhale, go ahead and turn towards that right edge of your mat, journeying into that twist. Now we're not using our left hand to pull us into the twist, it's just there for support. So inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall, and exhale, we'll go into the twist a little more. We'll just breathe here for a minute, not quite a minute, but for a few breaths. And on your next exhale, slowly return back to center. Take a breath. Compare both sides of your body. See how they're feeling. All right, next side. So we'll take our right hand to our left knee. Let's spin these left fingers around behind us. Inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. And then exhale, we'll journey into the twist on the left side. Inhale, sit up nice and straight and tall. And exhale, journey into that twist. Hey, enough of that. And we'll breathe. One more big breath here. And then exhale, we'll return to center. All right, let's go ahead and go to all fours in a nice tabletop position. So I'm going to move Sam over and we'll come into our tabletop here. So knees underneath your hip points or your hips, hands or arms in line with your shoulders. And we're gonna do a little spinal flexion just to warm up the spine. Your toes can be tucked or untucked, doesn't matter. On an inhale, let's drop our lower ribs. Lift up through the head, lift up through the tail. Really feel that stretch through your front body. And then on the exhale, we'll reverse it. Round up through the spine, tuck the tail, tuck the head. Feel that stretch in the back body. Inhale again, we'll drop those lower ribs, lifting the chest and the tail, coming into cow pose. Exhaling, rounding up into cat. Go ahead and do a few more on your own inhales and exhales. Just move at a pace that feels good to you and is appropriate for your breath. And then after your next exhale, go ahead and bring it back to that tabletop position, that nice flat back. And we're going to widen through the knees. Bring them as wide as the edges of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, sink the hips back towards the heels. Walk the fingertips forward. Melt your head and your heart to the mat. Extended child's pose. Take a breath here. After a few deep breaths, go ahead and return back to your tabletop position. We're going to get ready to flow, and it's going to be pretty active from here on out, so get ready. We'll have a few breaks in between. If your hands are directly under your shoulders, walk them one palm print in front of where they were. Keep the hands out wide. Really dig into the mat with your thumb, your forefinger, and your middle finger. We'll tuck our toes under, take a deep breath in. And then on your exhale, go ahead and lift your knees up, start to straighten through the legs. Press back through the hands. Let those heels grow heavy. Let your head grow heavy. Our first downward facing dog. Now if you'd like to walk your dog, you can, bending one knee and then the other, feeling a nice stretch through the calves. If you are walking your dog, go ahead and bring that to stillness. Let those heels grow heavy. It's okay if they don't touch the mat. All right, from here, make sure your hands are firmly planted into the mat. Let's plant our left foot firmly into the mat. We'll lift our right toes up, keep them dialed down towards the floor. Hips even. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward, bring that knee in towards your chest, look forward. We'll step that right foot in between our hands. Go ahead and lower onto that left knee. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked. Loop the shoulders up, lift the chest. Nice low lunge here. Now, if this position is difficult, you can always use some blocks to bring the ground up to you. Or, if you don't have blocks, come up a little bit higher and you can just rest your hands on your thigh. Now, this front leg should be at a nice 90-degree angle, so make sure That your foundation is set up. Pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. We'll take a few breaths here in this nice low lunge, stretching out the front of our left thigh here. When you're ready, we're going to start to straighten through that right leg, peel those toes up off the mat, flex that foot, straighten through the leg, and we're coming into a little hamstring stretch for the right side. So pull that right hip crease back, feel that stretch in that hamstring, keep breathing. And then after a few breaths, we're going to walk it forward, coming back into that low lunge. Tuck those left toes under, lift the left knee up off the mat. We'll step our right foot back to meet our left, coming into our first plank of practice. Now you can come into a half plank if that's more appropriate for your body. Otherwise, we'll keep our knees lifted up off the mat, really press back through the heels, press away from the mat. And you can even play with this by rocking front and back to kind of test that. Breathe here. One more big inhale. And then exhale. Actually, instead of lowering, let's lift our hips up towards the sky. Let's move back into our downward facing dog. Go ahead and shake it out. Take a few breaths. You can walk your dog like we did before, or you can just stay in stillness. Yogi's choice. One more big inhale here. And exhale, sigh it out. All right, let's plant our right foot down onto the mat. Make sure you're steady there. We'll lift those left toes up. Keep the toes dialed down. Inhale. And then exhale, shift forward, bring that knee in towards your chest. And then we'll step our left foot in between our hands. Go ahead and lower onto that right knee. Again, toes can be tucked or untucked. Make sure you're set up in a nice 90-degree angle. Chest lifted. Left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Breathe here. Again, you can use blocks or just the top of your thigh, whatever works best for you. One more big breath here. And then exhale, go ahead and shift your hips back, straight through the left leg, pull those toes up. Feel that nice stretch in the left hamstring. Left hip crease back. And as we do this from side to side, you'll notice some differences. My left side is a lot tighter than my right. That's okay, that's just how it goes. One more big breath here. And then exhale, we'll walk it back forward, coming back into that low lunge. Tuck those toes under. We'll step our left foot back to meet our right. Second plank of the practice. Again, you can always lower to half plank. Otherwise, let's take some nice big breaths here. All right, one more inhale. And then on the exhale, let's press back up into downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift those hips up high and back. Take a few breaths here. We're going to get off the wrists here in just a moment. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and look forward at your hands. We're going to make our way up to the top of the mat. You can take a few big steps or maybe just a few baby steps, whatever feels good to you. Slight bend in the knee. Once you get to the top, inhale, we'll come up halfway, keep a nice flat back, and then exhale, let it all go. Let your head hang long. Again, you can use blocks here to bring the floor up to you, or if you don't have blocks, just bend your knees as generously as you'd like to make this feel a little bit more comfortable for you today. Let's take some nice big breaths. One more big inhale here. And then as we exhale, slowly start to rise all the way up. We're going to make our way into mountain. You can roll those shoulders back and down. Make any adjustments you need. Maybe shake a foot or two, shake an arm. Get any, anxiety, wiggles, stress out. Any movement that you feel is necessary. And then once you're ready, we're going to come into our still mountain pose. Hands at the side, standing up nice and tall. Take a few breaths here. Now on our next inhale, I'm going to turn towards you guys. We're going to inhale and reach our arms up to the sky. Now from here, we're going to grab our left wrist with our right hand. And then on the exhale, we're just going to come past that center line, bump our left hips out to the side, and feel a nice big stretch in our left side body as we tilt towards the right. Breathe here. One more big breath. And then we'll return to center, switch the arms. So left hand is coming around my right wrist. Inhale, stand up nice and straight and tall, and then exhale, we'll start to journey over to the left while we bump our hips to the right, feeling that nice big stretch in our right side body. And breathe. Okay, when you're ready, let's return to center. One more big inhale. And then exhale, let your hands just float to the side. You can shake them off. I'm going to make my way to the top of the mat again. And we're going to get ready to go through a second flow here. So this one's going to be a little bit longer. We're going to build onto that first one. We're going to really move our bodies here. So when you're ready, let's inhale, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. I'm cutting off my head. Exhale, let it go. Take a few big breaths here. You can just hang here. You can sway side to side. Play with the movement. One more big breath. And then on the exhale, we'll slowly roll it all the way up. Go ahead and lift your hands up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and come back to your mountain. All right. So in our mountain, let's take a few breaths. All right, we're gonna flow. So I'm gonna step my left foot back, so you can step left or right, doesn't matter, completely up to you. I'm gonna step it back, and my feet are on two opposing train tracks, so I'm not on a tightrope, train tracks. My left foot is going to point out a little bit towards the left edge of my mat, and then with my right leg, I'm just gonna go ahead and bend it into that 90-degree angle. My hips are square to the long edge of the mat. So we're moving into a warrior two. Make sure you're nice and centered. You don't want to be drifting too far forward or coming too far back. We're going to play with some movement in a minute, but for now, let's stay nice and centered. Now your hands can either be on your waist, they can be at prayer, or you can extend them out to either side. Pinch a pencil in between those shoulder blades. And then you can look out over your right hand. Breathe here. Now we're going to keep the legs where they are. Go ahead and drop that left palm down. Reach the right palm up. Take a look at it. Peaceful warrior. Breathe. Go ahead and return your arms out to that warrior two. We'll straighten through our right front leg. Tilt your hips to the left, so tilt them back. Imagine someone's pulling those right fingers. They're pulling them, pulling them, pulling them. And then when you're ready, you can drop those right fingers towards the floor, left fingers up, triangle pose. Try to keep your legs straight. Now again, blocks are really super beneficial here. If you're not able to reach down or this is really uncomfortable for you, blocks are great. If you don't have blocks, you can use anything that's around your house. That just brings the ground up to you. Otherwise, you can come up here and just not touch the ground. If you do that, you're going to really engage your abs. You want to spiral your heart center up towards the sky. Look up towards that left hand. Breathe. All right, when you are ready, we're going to drop that left arm, bend through the right knee. Go ahead and frame that right foot with your hands. Pivot on that left foot. You may have to step it back a bit, coming back into kind of a low lunge here. Go ahead and keep your knee lifted this time, but the same as we did earlier. Make sure your chest is nice and lifted. Still that 90-degree angle with your right leg. And then when you're ready, you're going to rock that left foot all the way up to meet the right, and we're back in a nice forward fold. Once your feet are both there, inhale, we'll come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Nice big breath here. All right, when you're ready, we'll go ahead and slowly come all the way up to standing. Lift those arms up. You can bring the hands together through the midline. And then let those palms go, coming into a mountain pose again. Before we move to side two, take a moment here to breathe. All right, side two. I'm going to move to the other side so my back is not to you as we do this, so I can see you. So this time we'll step our left foot back, or the opposite foot that you did. Again, get yourself set up for your warrior two. Nice 90-degree angle in that front foot. Your left toes are going to be, I step back with my right toes. This is my right, this is my left. Switch sides. I'm confused. So if you're confused too, that's all right. I apologize. Just do the opposite side. Thank you so much for the hearts. All right, so my right toes are going to go to the right edge of my mat there. So just a little angle, nice little 45-degree angle. And you may have to set it up. It kind of looks weird in the video here. Make sure you're on 2 train tracks. And then you can choose your hand positioning once again. All right. Once you're in your warrior two, take a moment here just to breathe. Strengthening our lower body. When you're ready, we'll drop our right arm down, lift those left fingers up. Look up at those left fingers, peaceful warrior. Legs stay where they're at. Breathe here. When you're ready, we'll return to our warrior two. Start to straighten through that left leg. We'll tip our hips towards the back edge of our mat. I'm going to imagine someone is pulling my left hand all the way over, pulling, 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 and then dropping into triangle pose. So go ahead and choose your option. Take a few breaths here. Again, if your hand doesn't come to the floor, that's okay. Just come up a little bit higher. All right, and then when you're ready, we're going to lower that left hand down. Go ahead and come into a nice low lunge on the opposite side. Pivoting on that back foot. Take a few big breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to rock that front foot up to meet the back foot. I'm going to move back here a little bit so I'm not in the plant. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. When you're ready, slowly roll it all the way up to standing. Again, take any movements that you need. Shake anything off that you need to shake off. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to just a nice stillness in our mountain pose. This is where we're going to close out our practice for today. If you'd like to take a shavasana, you can. Hopefully your energy is nice and moving. You feel those juices flowing. And I did pull a card today. If you're new, I always pull a card for every practice. I pulled one today. And this is the first time I've ever pulled this card. And I've had this deck for a few years. But today we got Koala Spirit. It's a very pretty card. And Koala Spirit says that Spirit has a plan. In nature, the koala moves slowly through the branches of the eucalyptus tree, leisurely chewing the leaves, reminding us that life is not a race or a competition. Chasing around after every distraction can keep us from recognizing that we have all we need and that Spirit will always be there with gifts to sustain us. You are being asked to trust that by moving slowly, with faith in the abundance that is everywhere, surrendering to a power greater than yourself, you will be able to experience the manifestation of your desire. As you take your time enjoying the riches available to you right now, sitting peacefully, you begin to radiate the joy and abundance you seek. Spirit is here to help you discover happiness, pleasure, and contentment. All gifts that are yours now and in the future. Have faith and trust in Spirit's plan for you, and know that you are loved and cherished. So I want to thank you so much for spending your time and your energy and your practice with me and with those that are practicing live. For those of you on the live, thank you for joining me. I will have a replay of this up on my YouTube channel, probably the beginning of next week. If you'd like to subscribe to that, the link is in my bio. The page name is Shine On Yoga LLC. So you can subscribe there and get notified when I upload that replay. I'll also put it on my stories on TikTok for those of you on the live. For those of you watching the replay, thank you so much for joining me for this. Again, you can subscribe so that way you get notified as these come out. I go live usually every Wednesday on TikTok, so if you'd like to join me there, you can find me on this channel or follow me or subscribe or whatever it is you do on TikTok to get the notifications. But I will be back next week with a brand new practice, so I hope to see you all there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week and a great October. Namaste.